Welcome back, everybody. This is Dawn Mathis with To Your Greatness. And so today I just want to chat with you as if we're having a cup of coffee together. Around the holidays. It's been a little crazy the last two holidays with COVID. And yet, even so, we still have some times where our minds go off on down rabbit holes, let's say, and we get stressed out. Excuse me, something in the air. And so let's talk about building a healthier mind. Now, if you've been listening to my podcast, you know that almost everything we talk about has something to do with the mind. So this is not going to be new stuff. It's just in a shorter, more informal format. So let's just you and I chat for, 10 minutes or so, something like that. Here's what I know. Everything starts with our thoughts. Everything. Everything that's created is created twice, first in thought, then in form. And so it goes with, without saying, really, that whatever we think about somehow comes to fruition in our world. And so one of the things that I say when I have my vision workshops is the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your thinking. I know that sounds trite or woo-woo or whatever, but it's true. Look around you to some negative person that thinks negatively all the time, and do you see much good going on in their life? Probably not. Probably not. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about a few things about what you can do to adjust your thoughts or to help you change the frequency, the vibration, if you will, of your thinking so that it's more in harmony with the vibration of things that you'd want to have in your life. Let's make it a match. So here's one thing. We want to be careful of what we allow to get into our minds in the first place. They tell me with computers it's garbage in, garbage out. I know it's that way with our minds as well. So here's what we want to do. Ernest Holmes said this: stand guard at the portal of your mind. Now, he just didn't say that just like to say some flowery, speechy words. It's the truth. You want to protect your mind like you would protect anything that's important to you. So, how do we do that? Well, we want to be careful of who we hang out with. I'm talking people. How much time you spend on social media. How much time and what's the quality of the TV programs you're watching. Watching or listening to a lot of news. Negative movies, violent movies, negative or violent books, those kinds of things. And we know this. We know this. We're not idiots. I think we just don't realize sometimes when we do a lot of those things to the negative slant on life, I don't think we always realize how much it affects us, but it does. So the other thing I would tell you is then do the opposite. Read books that are uplifting, movies that are uplifting. You can laugh if you want to, but I freaking love Hallmark. Especially at Christmas. And you know what was good about COVID was that those writers were twiddling their thumbs, and so they wrote a bunch of new stuff for this year, which is awesome. And their plots are different and more diverse, if you know what I mean. So watch some of those. They're pretty darn good. And there's always a happy ending, which I love. The people that you associate with, if there's some people that maybe have what you want in life, or you really like the way they act around other people, if they're positive, if they're funny, if they're uplifting and encouraging, those are the people you want to hang around with. Don't mess with the other ones. When I was younger, I used to think it was part of my job to help people feel better that were negative all the time. And this was when I was in school, like grade school and maybe junior high. And you know what? You can't convince somebody against their will to be in a better mood. So I wouldn't try more than a couple of times. One of the rules my partner and I have about spending time with people, regardless of who they are, if we consistently feel a lowering of our vibration after we're around them for several times, we spend less time or no time with those people. It's just not worth it. Life is way too short. So if you want a really fun book about your thoughts, there's one by a man named Shad Helmstetter, and it's called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. Sounds like a self-dating book or something. What do I say when I'm dating? This one is what you say when you talk to yourself. So it's very enlightening. I read it several years ago, and I would highly recommend it. Napoleon Hill's books are great as well. I mean, there's so many good books out there. Another thing that I would tell you is affirmations. Write affirmations for yourself. I'm great at what I do. I've earned what I have in life. I don't have to be perfect. I just want to try. One of my favorite ones, I held a retreat this past weekend, and one of the ladies, we were talking about the 4 major quadrants in our lives. And maybe you know what they are, maybe you don't. It's different depending on who you're listening to. But it's health and well-being, love and relationships, vocation or creative expression, and time and money freedom. And this woman had been a missionary, and she said, I'm really having a hard time with this time and money freedom thing. I just don't feel like it's something that I could want. And I wrote a podcast about that. So you'll have to go back, and I'm trying to remember the name of it, and I cannot quite remember the name of it. I think it had something to do with gratitude over guilt. And here's the thing. You can have, and I can have, whatever we're willing to welcome into our lives. And whether we have money or not does not affect whether someone else has money or not. So I just wanted to make that clear. The other thing is there was a couple of people there from some nonprofits that work with homeless people and people down on their luck. And what I would tell you and what I would tell them is it's a lack of awareness. They have no less power than you and I. They are no less than you and I. They just need someone to tell them and tell them over and over again. And so maybe we need to have some kind of classes or something in places like that where people know that they can have what they want. I certainly didn't hear that growing up or into my young adulthood even. I didn't know that. We don't learn that And I would say that it's the tip of the arrow people, probably a few percent of people worldwide that really know that. So it's our job to spread it around. So affirmations are important, and so a couple of the affirmations that I told those couple of people in my retreat last weekend was, one of the affirmations was, I'm grateful for all that I have and will have. I'm grateful for all that I have and will have. And the other one is, the money I receive, I share with others. The money I receive, I share with others. So, and you know, if you look around, the things that you want in life, if you want to travel, if you want to buy some clothes, if you want to buy a house on the lake, everything costs money. It's just a way to get the things that we want in life. So if it was puka shells, we'd be at the beach, right? So anyway, I wanted to give you a few more tips. And you've probably heard this before, but the mind is so powerful. It's like an iceberg. You know, most of the iceberg is below the surface of the ocean. That's our subconscious mind. And it never shuts down. It never shuts off. So we have to really be careful. We can change our thoughts and we can change our lives. I heard it said recently that worry is misuse of our imagination. I love that. Worry is misuse of our imagination. And Thomas Edison said it, that, I'm trying to remember how he said it because I don't have it written down, that creativity is imagination having fun. Creativity is imagination having fun. So maybe we spend some more time being creative or reading some good books. One of the things, I don't know if this happens to you, but it's I call it monkey mind, where your mind just kind of goes off a little crazy and goes down maybe some not so great paths. And there's a few things that you can do when that happens, depending on if it's 3 a.m. or if it's in the afternoon. You could talk to a friend. Maybe if you have a partner in believing or someone who encourages you or who's a mentor to you, who knows your achievements, who is not impressed by the things that you say are going on in your life that aren't so positive. So that's one thing you could do. Another thing you could do is journal about the things that are hanging you up, so to speak, and what you could do about them. Or write an affirmation that directly negates that negative energy statement that you're telling yourself, that self-talk. And then you can do things like lifting your mind up by talking to people you love, an activity you love, like dancing. I know I love to dance. I'm not good at it, and most people would tell you that. But I tell you what, when I dance, I laugh, and so does everybody else. So must be doing something right. Walking, cooking, painting. Those are all great things that you could do. And the final thing I will tell you is this. I saw a short snippet video of a Buddhist monk who was talking about the monkey mind. And when the monkey mind is going so fast and you can't control him, this monk said, you give him something to do. You tell him he's in charge of watching your breath and counting your breaths. And then you change the way you breathe. You breathe in through your nose and out through pursed lips, like you're blowing on a candle. When I was a physical therapist years ago, I used to call that sniff the flowers and blow out the candles. And you do it slowly, and it calms your circuits. It puts you in the parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest, digest, and create. And if you're having your monkey mind, watch that. The monkey's going to slow down too. There's a couple of different languages where the word breath and spirit are one and the same, and I love that. So we can connect to our spirit, the spiritual side of our nature, inside of ourselves, and get to the place where we think good, creative, calm, confident thoughts about ourselves and about our world. I hope this was helpful to you. I look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. This is Dawn Mathis with To Your Greatness. We'll see you next time.